Welcome back to another episode. Today, we're not talking about politics. Today, we're talking about something else that I find important. Obviously, it's not important to the masses or to the macro, but it's important to my world. I'm a Ravens fan, and instead of having 80 different conversations as to why or what is going on with the Ravens, 80 different people asking me what's going on with your team, I just want to make a video. I think it's better for me just to sit up here and show you guys exactly what's going on or what I think or why I think what I think versus me, again, sitting up here having 80 different types of conversations with 80 different type of people who are interested in my perspective on my team. Not to mention, it's a huge break from what we typically talk about, and I think everybody could use a break. So before we get started, I understand that a lot of these plays that I'm going to show you is like hindsight 2020. Obviously, looking back on it, it's like, oh, that was a bad play. But I promise you, if you ever watched game with me live, I call out a lot of this shit. And I grew up in a household to where my pops was calling out plays and I didn't understand exactly how he knew what was going to happen. Fast forward to now, well, I'm that guy. So can the Ravens fix their season? What's going on with them? Right after this intro.
Only one. Yeah.
Okay, so the problems that I see on the Baltimore Ravens are a culture issue. They don't believe in themselves. The coaching is absolutely horrendous. Zach Orr, as a matter of fact, John Harbaugh deserves to be fired because Zach Orr is still there. Zach Orr is probably the worst defensive coordinator I've seen in the NFL ever, and he happens to be on my freaking team. It's annoying. And John Harbaugh has this thing about him to where he doesn't really do anything. If you know who John Harbaugh is or just ever looked at his career, he was a special teams guy, which means he's a culture guy. He's not really an X's and O's type of coach. He's going to make sure everybody is liked and everybody is taken care of and everybody is somewhat happy. But when they make cutscenes or when they go to cutscenes, before commercials or when the Ravens do something bad or do something good or whatever, he has the same face every single time. Bro, as a head coach, if I'm ever a head coach, I understand that I have coordinators, but my job is to be a head coach. So if I see something on the defense, I'm going to go over to my defense when they get off the field. If I see something in my offense, I'm going to go to my offense and say something because my job as a head coach is to oversee, not just sit there and just manage the game. Yes, you're supposed to manage the game. That's supposed to be the easiest part about it. And he even does that incorrectly too. Your job is to oversee and help wherever need be. And he does nothing but be the culture coach. And it's like, I'm tired of it. You've been living on the backs of Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and that straight great defense for a very long time. And you still think that you have this defense. You don't have players like Ray Lewis. You have great talented defensive players. You have great talent on the offense, but you do not know how to get the most out of your X's nor your O's. And it clearly shows. And I really think it's weird how the Tennessee Titans go 1-5 with no expectations, fire their coach. And here we are, the Baltimore Ravens, 1-5 with on paper Super Bowl aspirations and expectations. And we're just moseying along as if it's all good. Reality check. It's not. Nonetheless, let's look at some key moments that got us to 1-5. Okay, so this drive is super important. It's 20-10. Buffalo Bills have no timeouts. If the Ravens get a stop here, they go into halftime 20-10 with them getting ball. Start the second half. Huge. But one thing you can't do right here as a outside contain guy is let the quarterback outside. If you do let the quarterback outside, you give a great quarterback like Josh Allen the opportunity to stop the clock and make a sideline throw somewhere down here, anywhere down here. But again, it's still 25 seconds, so you kind of have to play good defense. But let's just see what happens here. One thing's first, again, you cannot let the quarterback break contain. It just adds more time. Breaks contain. And they just make a play. But right here, this is stupid. Now, if you want a smart play, a smart defensive coordinator, is one, you're going to send somebody. You're not just going to give this quarterback enough time to do anything and whatever he wants to do with whatever. No pressure, no nothing, just, okay, let's see what I can do. Blitz some freaking body. And Put somebody on your edges, sidelines, contain your sideline. You should have 4 heels on the end zone and 4 heels somewhere near the sideline on either side. Anything else, whatever, they can have. But this, just stupid, just no pressure. Just let them do anything. You don't let that shit happen. That's a defensive scheme thing. And then they get the field goal and go in the half. Now, after halftime, we actually get the ball back and we go down and score and make it 27-13. So we have a really good grip on this game. Problem is, we have a really good grip on this game. The coaches know that, and they take their foot off the gas pedal. And I hate when coaches get conservative far too early. You get conservative with 30 seconds on the clock, not a whole second half. Okay, so obviously our defense ain't worth the damn. And we all remember Derrick Henry fumbling, getting the ball back, or them getting the ball back and scoring. That takes the game 40-38. Fine. We have Lamar Jackson with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. And all we have to do is either waste all the time or go down here and score, which if I'm coach, I'm going to go down here and score. I'm going to be ultra aggressive. Not ultra aggressive, but my Ray Lewis that I used to depend on my defense, well, that player's now on offense. So I have to be aggressive here because I don't have a Ray Lewis on defense who's going to make me right on that side of the ball. So I have to, you see what I'm saying? John Harbaugh doesn't get that. He doesn't understand it. That's your Ray Lewis now. But we end up getting stopped on 3rd down. I think it's 4th and 4 at the very most. Now, again, we end up punting the ball as if we've been getting stops all day or something. And it's like, John, you have one of the greatest quarterbacks, talent-wise, ever. And all you need is 4 yards, maybe 3. And you're going to punt the ball to a quarterback, to a team that has just been just doing anything and everything with your defense. You're going to give this ball back to this quarterback with 1 minute, 33 seconds left and some timeouts. It just doesn't make sense. First of all, you need to go for it. You have Lamar Jackson. You can get 4 yards. And if you don't get 4 yards, if it is a turnover on downs, maybe that accelerates the Buffalo Bills to where they don't have to just mosey around, get into field goal position and just kind of stay in field goal position and just kick a field goal because they're down by 2, not 3. They don't have to get a touchdown. They can just get a field goal. So by you kicking the ball, you're just giving them time to waste the clock out because your defense ain't worth a damn and ain't slowed them down all day. Again, you go for it. If you fail, fine. But maybe they kick that field goal and you have 40 seconds with Lamar to actually go down there and do the same thing. But you don't think. They proceed to go on and make us 0-1. Now, we're going to skip the Browns because if there's anybody worse than John Harbaugh, it's Kevin Stefanski. I mean, the Browns organization as a whole, they stink. Now, this Lions matchup, it was pretty much the same thing. We got out-coached. We're doing things that we shouldn't be doing. I mean, there's one time where we get down there on the goal line and we do 3 straight runs to Derrick Henry. I love Derrick Henry, but we have Lamar Jackson, a play that I recommend if you're on the goal line with one of the greatest talented quarterbacks of all time. Is just let him make a play. Put all slants. Let him make a play. He'll run it in or he'll throw it in. But 3 times with Derrick Henry, then you go on the 4th down and everybody in the stadium knows that the ball is going to be in Lamar Jackson's hands this time. And y'all always do this thing where y'all roll out to the right with nobody going to the backside and everything is just kind of right there. They're flowing the right way that you're flowing. So you're just bringing people right where you're going. Nothing on the counter. I mean, the play calling and whoever drew this shit up is an asshole. Nonetheless, I do think the Detroit Lions they were the better team that day. So I wasn't too upset with this one, although I do think that we have the better team. So I don't know why we just can't get stops on defense. It just doesn't make sense. Maybe we just need a new defensive coordinator or a competent one, or just change the head coach so we can change everything. Now, this Chiefs game, again, everything that I've said, coaching, adjustments, lack thereof, management of the game, defense can't stop at anything, all this shit is heavily at play. But something else that we have to understand here is when the offense believes that the defense can't get a stop, that puts more pressure on the offense because they genuinely think that they have to go out here and score every single possession because, Well, the defense can't stop things. So when that happens, you're trying to make play after play after play. And essentially you find yourself doing too much sometimes. And unfortunately, when you do the most, mistakes happen and injuries happen. So this game was just that. Obviously, with the Texans and the Rams, I mean, we had a backup quarterback that did not have the same skill set as the starter. You're essentially changing your whole offense because your quarterback got hurt, and you can't do that. So just that mindset right there tells me that this coaching staff is not there, because that doesn't even make sense. If I want a quarterback for my offense, I built a offense for my quarterback, which means if my quarterback gets hurt, I have to get a backup that kind of does the similar things as my primary quarterback. You would think it would just be common sense, but these guys didn't do that. So moving forward, we have a bye week, week 7. Lamar Jackson's going to come back week 8. I don't think that we get better week 8, week 9. I don't think that we're going to the playoffs. I don't think that we do anything, because we are not going to make drastic changes because we feel like our coaching staff has done too much for us, or he's too great to be fired. I don't really truly know exactly what the cause is, but we're not making changes. We're also seeing how valuable that Lamar Jackson is. He's clearly a one-man team, and his winning record, his winning percentage over the course of his career is absolutely ridiculous, knowing what we know now. So I think he's better than I even thought, and that's saying a lot. Nonetheless, Oklahoma City starts in a week or so, so at least I have a good, competent team in them, because I don't know what my football organization is doing, and I don't see a light at that tunnel. So with that being said, like, share, subscribe, and catch my next rant or my next actual topic next time. Thank you.
All in one. Yeah.